What if I told you that some of the most powerful foods on this planet contain zero sugar, zero carbs, and yet can completely transform your health? No spikes, no crashes, no hidden damage. Today, I'm going to reveal 7 of the healthiest zero-carb, zero-sugar foods that can help you burn fat, stabilize your energy, and take control of your body like never before. These foods are eggs, salmon, chicken, beef, butter, cheese, and olive oil. Simple, powerful, and life-changing. But here's the truth. Most people ignore these foods and instead fill their bodies with sugar, processed carbs, and empty calories, slowly destroying their health. Let's change that. Starting now, most people wake up already running on empty. They reach for quick sugar, processed carbs, and instant fixes, thinking it will give them power. And for a moment, it does. There's a spike, a rush, a short burst of focus. But then comes a crash, the fatigue, the brain fog, the loss of clarity. And just like that, control is gone again. This is the silent cycle that controls millions of lives. When your energy is unstable, your decisions become unstable. You procrastinate more. You lose focus faster. You feel tired even after doing nothing. It's not a lack of discipline. It's a lack of consistent fuel. Now imagine a different state. Imagine waking up with steady, reliable energy. No sudden crashes. No desperate need for sugar. No moments where your mind just shuts down in the middle of the day. Instead, you feel alert, focused, and in control from morning to night. This is what happens when you remove sugar and unnecessary carbs from your system. Your body stops riding the roller coaster. Blood sugar levels stabilize. Your brain receives a constant, clean supply of energy. And suddenly, everything changes. Your focus sharpens. Your productivity increases. Even your mood becomes more balanced. Because real energy is not about spikes. It's about stability. Think about the difference between a firework and a steady flame. One explodes brightly for a few seconds and disappears. The other burns consistently, providing heat and light for hours. Most people are living like fireworks, quick bursts followed by darkness. But high performers, disciplined individuals, and those who truly take control of their lives, they operate like a steady flame. They protect their energy at all costs. When you fuel your body with zero-carb, zero-sugar foods, you're no longer dependent on temporary boosts. You are building a system that works for you, not against you. Your mind stays clear. Your body stays active. Your performance becomes reliable, and reliability is power. Because when you can depend on your energy, you can depend on your actions. When your actions are consistent, your results become predictable. And when your results are predictable, success stops being random. It becomes inevitable. This is where true control begins. Not in motivation, not in willpower, but in the fuel you give your body every single day. Every meal is either pushing you forward or pulling you backward. Every bite is either building stability or feeding chaos. The choice seems small in the moment, but repeated daily, it defines your entire life. Most people are stuck in a system where their body is constantly dependent on sugar for fuel. Every meal, every snack, every craving reinforces the same pattern. Glucose comes in, the body uses it quickly, and whatever is left gets stored as fat. Then, within hours, hunger returns, energy drops, cravings rise again, and the cycle repeats. It feels like you're trying, but nothing changes. Now, consider a different reality. When you remove sugar and drastically reduce carbs, something powerful begins to happen inside your body. It is forced to adapt. It no longer is quick sugar to rely on, so it turns to its backup system, stored fat. This is not a trick. This is how the human body was designed to function. Your body already knows how to burn fat. It just hasn't been given a reason to do it. The moment that switch happens, everything starts to shift. Instead of constantly storing fat, your body begins to use it as fuel. Energy becomes more stable. Hunger becomes more controlled. You're no longer chasing food every few hours just to feel normal. This is where the struggle starts to disappear. Because fat loss is not supposed to feel like a constant battle. It's not meant to drain your willpower or leave you exhausted. When your body is in the right state, it works with you. It becomes efficient, responsive, and balanced. Think about how different that feels. No more extreme hunger controlling your decisions. No more late-night cravings that feel impossible to resist. No more frustration from doing everything right, but seeing no results. Instead, your body begins to cooperate. It starts to tap into its own stored energy, hour by hour, day by day. This is what effortless fat burning actually looks like. And here's where it becomes even more powerful. When your body relies on fat for fuel, your energy levels stop fluctuating wildly. You don't experience the same highs and crashes that come with sugar. You feel steady, consistent, and in control. That consistency allows you to stay active, focused, and disciplined without feeling forced. Because you're no longer fighting your body, you're aligned with it. There's a level of freedom in that which most people never reach. Freedom from constant hunger. Freedom from emotional eating. Freedom from the idea that losing fat has to be painful. But this only happens when you change the input. As long as sugar and excess carbs remain a constant, your body will stay locked in storage mode. It will keep holding on to fat because it never needs to use it. But the moment you remove that constant supply, the body has no choice but to adapt. Most people believe they eat because they need energy, but look closer and a different pattern appears. The sudden urge for something sweet after a meal, the uncontrollable desire for snacks late at night, the feeling that something is missing unless there's sugar involved. This isn't nourishment. This is conditioning. Sugar doesn't just satisfy appetite. It rewires behavior. Each time you consume it, your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical linked to reward and pleasure. For a brief moment, everything feels better. Stress fades, mood lifts, focus sharpens. But that moment doesn't last. It fades quickly, leaving behind a subtle emptiness that pushes you to seek it again. And that's where the trap begins. Because the more you respond to those cravings, the stronger they become. What started as an occasional treat turns into a daily habit, then into a dependency, then into something that feels almost impossible to control. It's no longer a choice. It's a loop. Now imagine breaking that loop. When you remove sugar and unnecessary carbs, the first thing you notice is resistance. The cravings don't disappear instantly. In fact, they may feel stronger at the beginning. Your body is used to quick rewards, and suddenly they're gone. It demands them. It pushes you. It tries to pull you back into the same pattern. But this is the turning point. Because every time you choose not to give in, something powerful happens. The signal weakens. The intensity drops. The cycle begins to break. What once felt urgent starts to feel optional. What once controlled you starts to lose its grip. This is not just physical. It's mental. You begin to realize that cravings are temporary. They rise, they peak, and then they pass. They don't define you. They don't control your actions unless you allow them to. And the moment you understand this, you gain something most people never develop. True control over your decisions. Think about what that means in your daily life. No more automatic reactions. No more reaching for food without thinking. No more feeling powerless in front of temptation. Instead, there's awareness. There's intention. There's a clear separation between what your body asks for and what you choose to give it. This is where discipline is built, not through restriction, but through clarity. You're no longer saying, I can't have this. You're saying, I don't need this. And that shift changes everything. Because when you don't feel deprived, you don't feel trapped. You feel in control. Over time, the cravings fade into the background. Foods that once felt irresistible lose their appeal. Your taste preferences change. Your body begins to crave what actually supports it, not what temporarily excites it. Most people don't see food this way. They see it as comfort, as entertainment, as something to pass the time. But beneath that surface, something much deeper is happening. Every choice you make at the table is shaping your body, your mind, and your level of discipline. It's never just food, it's direction. When you consistently choose processed, sugary, high-carb options, you're not just satisfying a craving. You're reinforcing a pattern of weakness. You are telling your body to rely on quick fixes, to seek instant gratification, to avoid discomfort. And over time, that pattern extends beyond food. It shows up in your work, your habits, your decisions, because the way you eat becomes the way you live. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine sitting down to a meal and choosing foods that demand discipline. Foods that don't give you an instant rush, but instead provide steady, lasting fuel. Foods that support your body instead of overstimulating it. In that moment, you're not just eating, you are training yourself. You are reinforcing strength. Each time you choose zero-carb, zero-sugar foods, you're making a conscious decision to prioritize long-term results over short-term pleasure. That decision might feel small, almost insignificant in the moment, but repeated daily, it becomes a powerful identity. You become someone who chooses control over impulse, and that identity changes everything. Because strength is not built in one big moment. It's built in small decisions, repeated consistently. It's built when you say no to what's easy and yes to what's right. It's built when you act with intention instead of reacting on instinct. Food becomes your daily training ground. Think about how many times a day you eat or feel tempted to eat. Each of those moments is an opportunity to reinforce discipline, an opportunity to prove to yourself that you are in control. Most people ignore these moments. They operate on autopilot. But those who truly transform their lives use these moments to build mental strength, and that strength compounds. Over time, you start to notice a shift. You're not just stronger physically, you're sharper mentally, more focused, more consistent, more resilient. You don't get pulled in every direction by cravings or impulses. You stay grounded. You stay in control because you've trained yourself to do so. There's also a level of confidence that comes with this. Not the loud, temporary kind, but a quiet, internal certainty. You know you can rely on yourself. You know that when faced with choice, you won't break. And that confidence carries into every area of your life. It affects how you work, how you think, how you handle challenges. All of it traces back to the same principle. You are either feeding strength or feeding weakness. And the difference is not in one big decision. It's in the small, repeated choices you make every single day. Imagine waking up with steady energy. No crashes, no brain fog, no cravings controlling your mind. Imagine your body burning fat naturally, feeling lighter, sharper, stronger. That future is not complicated. It starts with simple choices. It starts with real food. It starts with eliminating sugar and unnecessary carbs. These 7 foods are not just food. They are tools. They are fuel. They are your advantage.